they get on the wrong side of the law, they can see how it is for the people what they were treating like
But
that.
see, the son of a bitch should go to prison.
Yeah.
You know, if it was anybody else, they would have went.
That's right. I know. Sometimes they do, but not always.
You know, most times they didn't go to prison, though.
No, they get off the hook one way or another.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah. Like that one place that officer in Appleton or whatever got all those charges dropped against him for doing favors or something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
He got all of the charges dropped against him.
Yeah.
So.
See, it's all right for them to do anything.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you do something wrong, you shouldn't be in office no more.
I agree.
Or be a cop or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, if you can't go by the book, get the fuck out.
And you're supposed to be setting a good example for the public, too.
Yeah.
So, that's right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. All they do is waste tax dollars money.
Right.
This is like how they beat these squad cars out here, too.
Mm-hmm. They don't care. They don't have, that money's just all so freely given to them.
Yeah.
They don't have to work to earn it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, bros and nothing else.
And nothing else? I know what that means when you say that, nothing else.
Nothing else. It's been 20 minutes.
Huh?
Been 20, 25 minutes.
Hold it then.
Yeah.
Oh, I like hearing you talk.
Yeah.
You know? Oh. I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
I miss you more.
Yeah.
Probably. Huh?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, I miss you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're so handsome and cute. So, yep. Seems like I was going to ask you something, but I can't remember what. I don't remember. Seems like I was going to ask you something, but I can't remember what it would be. The minute you hang up, I'll probably think of it.
Oh, well, that's what it was.
Yes.
That's the way it goes anyway.
Yes. If I think of it, I'll write it down, and then next time I talk to you, I'll look and see what I wrote down.
Yeah.
If I think of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you better go to bed.
Not this early. I gotta eat supper first. If I go to bed, it'll probably be about 8 o'clock. 8 or 8:30, that's when I usually go. Oh, and then you call and I fall asleep and don't hear you. So.
I'll probably just call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around what time? In the afternoon or evening?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you gonna talk to your mom some more tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, probably around 8 o'clock.
You're gonna call her around 8?
Yeah. Right before 8, probably.
Yeah. Is your dad home or up north?
He's still up north.
Oh, don't your mom ever miss him when he's up north?
No. She's sick again.
Your mom's sick?
Yeah.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know.
Huh? Well, then how do you know she's sick?
Because she said she don't feel good.
It's either a cold or the flu, because that's all what goes around in the winter.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And I hope it ain't the flu, because that's worse.
Yeah.
Especially in people that are older.
Yeah. I know all of the shit going on.
Yes. The stress
Yeah.
that she gets puts her immune system down.
Yeah.
Because when you're under stress, your immune system ain't as strong, and then you can get sick easier.
Yeah.
And plus, she's elderly, and that makes it harder to on you.
Yeah.
When you get older, your immune system ain't as strong.
So,
Does she take vitamins?
no.
Oh, she should. Vitamins are supposed to help you. But I take vitamins, and, well, I only got the flu once this year. I didn't get a cold or not so far. I hope it won't. You still taking your pills?
Yeah. Let me see how many's left.
Huh?
Let's see how many's left.
Yeah.
I think by the end of this week it's done.
Yeah. Okay. see you tomorrow then.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, what do you think?
He's an asshole.
I agree. Right after that, you two talk on the phone. After he says he loves her and gonna put his wiener in her.
Oh.
Nice. Change your opinion on him a little bit?
He's an asshole.
Well, you know what? He can't deny this. I mean, it's there. It's black and white, okay? Like to see what kind of excuse he's gonna come up with that, but like I said, he's probably gonna flip it around and turn it right back at you, throw Chucky in there in a mix of things and make you feel bad and jump all over your case. Well,
I won't feel bad.
he's gonna try and turn it around you. Take
Oh,
the
yeah.
pressure off of him. You probably know that already.
Sure, he's gonna blame because you and Chucky had a relationship. That's what he normally does, is my understanding.
But we never had a
I
relationship.
know, but he seems to think that for some reason, from my understanding, talking to people. Let me ask you a question. When did you get together with Steve the first time?
The end of May, June,
Of what year?
2004.
Okay.
9 months after he got out.
Okay. Do you remember his car being burned? Back in '04? Car of his allegedly being stolen and found burned in a field.
His sister's?
It could have been his sister's, yeah. Remember that?
A Blazer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you know about that?
That somebody stole it and they reported it.
Where was it stolen from?
I believe it was her yard. I was sick that week.
Were you home
Yeah,
during that?
in bed.
Was Steve with you?
At night when he was done working up at the junkyard.
Did he ever tell you anything about that?
No.
You sure? Who would know that it was there, that they would come down and even be able to steal it? Way the heck
I
down
have
there.
no idea.
Doesn't that seem a little bit odd? Way down there where nobody really knows who's living there, or it's not like it's right on the main drag where somebody would see a car that they want to steal.
Yeah.
Why would somebody steal a car and just go burn it up?
I have no idea.
Doesn't make much sense to me, does it to you? If you're going to steal a car, you're going to steal it for a purpose, and that would be to use it. Or to sell it, or to parts it out, something.
Something.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Does it make sense to you that somebody would just steal it and take it and drive it into a field and burn it?
Not really.
No. Well, it doesn't make sense to me either. I think Steve had something to do with that.
I have no idea.
You sure?
Yeah.
He's never said a word to you about it?
No.
Ever question him on it?
No.
So you just took it at face value that it was stolen?
Yeah.
Seem odd to you, though? I mean, does any of this stuff seem odd to you? Or does Steve just have a lot of bad luck? After what you just heard. If everything that happens to Steve is bad luck, well, I'll tell you what, he's got the worst fucking luck I've ever seen
Yeah,
in the
he
world.
does.
You know? That's pretty bad luck. Seems that everything Steve does, he's got an excuse for. Or a way to lie himself out of it. Like he lied to you right
Yeah.
after this phone call. So some of this got to be clicking with you that this guy isn't right. You know, and I don't know that it's all Steve's fault. I think Steve has some mental issues. I think that's pretty evident.
I know one time Chucky told him that he needed to go to counseling,
Mm-hmm.
but he said no, he didn't.
Did you say for what? anger management or something, or you just need to get
They
some
were just
counseling?
arguing and Chucky up and said that.
What do you think? Think he needs some?
Anger management, yeah.
Well, obviously you see an anger problem there.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said before, you've got the safety of a phone between you two. Jodi, what do you think would happen if you confronted him with the homicide, the sexual assault allegations? Don't you think he'd come unglued? Look what he did to you when you brought up Marie. And just so you know, before you answer that, I just want to let you know you're not the one that started this investigation on
Oh,
Marie.
I know.
Okay, so he's trying to pin this all on you, but anyway, back to my original thought. I mean, you know he's got an anger problem, Jodi.
If I confronted her, I don't know what he'd do.
Let's go down the list of things that he's done that we know about. Just that we know about. From the time he committed the burglary, which got him in trouble. And he doesn't even take responsibility for that. He says, well, he wasn't really...
What burglary?
The one to the bar that got him in trouble.
Oh, that, I
years
have
ago.
no idea anything
Okay.
about that.
Well, you knew about it, though, I'm assuming.
No.
You didn't know he was involved in some burglaries?
No.
So he hasn't told you everything, huh?
I never really questioned him about his past.
Okay. Well, let me give you a little bit about his past. He's involved in a burglary, which he served jail time for, out at Harps Lake. Then he's involved with the cat burning incident, whether he's put the cat on fire or not. I tend to believe that he had more to do with it than he's telling you. Were you there?
No.
Okay. Well, then you probably pretty much can tell that he did more of it than he's telling you. He's minimizing it like he does with everything, okay? So he does that. Then he ends up exposing himself to some lady who's driving by the house all the time, and then the lady ends up reporting him, and he ends up running her off the road and taking her at gunpoint just about. God, what do you think would have happened to her if you think she'd be up walking around today?
Wasn't it because she had a baby in the backseat?
Mm-hmm. It's the only reason he didn't. It means he's got some heart to him.
He's got some common sense and judgment at least, but if she went to have that baby back there, what do you think would have happened to her?
Nothing.
Nothing? You don't think nothing would happen? You think that's normal for somebody to go
He
run
likes
somebody
to
off the
scare
road?
people.
I think that's a little more than scaring somebody.
Yeah.
Gun was loaded. You know what I think? If that baby wouldn't have been in there, we'd had another missing person. This lady had been dead. It's not what I think, it's what I know. I know that's what would have happened. I think deep down you know that too. You know he would have killed her. Just like he killed Teresa. Same way. Kills Teresa, puts her body in a burn pit, burns her up, takes her truck, attempts to hide it, covers it up with sticks and other hoods and stuff from the junkyard to try to hide it until he can get back on Saturday and crush it and get rid of it. Unfortunately, we found it before he had the chance. Because you know what he's going to use as an excuse? You. He was going to come down and visit you is what he's going to tell his family on Saturday. And he wasn't going to come see you. He was going to come and crush the truck and get rid of it. He had to, because that's the only evidence. He knew if we didn't find the truck, we had nothing. But unfortunate for him, we found the truck. Screwed him. He lies until he gets caught in a lie. I'll give you another example how he lied about the fire. First he said he never had a fire. He said, well, when he got caught, because people saw the fire, including his sister, okay, yeah, I guess I did have a fire.
And that was on the news. He clearly admitted that on the news.
Yeah, that I seen.
It's a pathological liar. He'll do anything. It's never his fault. It's always your fault, or his sister's fault, or his mom's fault, or always somebody else's fault.
Do you notice that when you try to pin something on him or
Yeah.
confront him about Debbie, he turns it around and says something about Chuck or blames you for this Marie thing? He always wants to take the heat off himself. It's all about him.
Yeah.
Jodi, he killed her. Cold blood. A defenseless woman. Killed her.
25 years old.
She's out there trying to do a job.
You know what's really sick?
He's blaming.
25-year-old female cannot go and do her job without running into somebody like that. You know, it's probably fortunate that I carry a 45 on my side, because who knows what would happen to me, some of the dirtbags I see.
I just don't think he did it. Why wouldn't he kill me? I don't talk to my family. They wouldn't have noticed me missing.
You know what, Jodi?
He didn't have to kill you because you know what? He was getting what he wanted off of you.
You know what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex.
Mm-hmm. Where were you when this happened?
In here.
What did he just say on the phone conversation to you?
If I wasn't in here, it wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm. He wanted sex. He couldn't get it. He tried to force her. She resisted, and he killed her. The evidence is all there. He killed her. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. And you can shake your head all you want. You know it. You know he killed her. There's no way anybody else killed her. He can't account for his time during the time when she was there. He's there alone. He doesn't go back to work. Wonder why that is. Because he's upset he just killed somebody.
Jodi, you're talking to the lead investigator in this,
Yeah.
okay? He knows the timeline, he knows the insides and outs of this case, okay? However, I don't know that much, but he knows her timeline, where she was, the phone calls, he knows Steve, he talked to Steve, okay?
There's so much I know that you don't know, but I can't even tell you.
It'd make your head spin.
Well, I believe it.
You know what was different between you and Teresa? Teresa didn't have the time to spend with him prior to that. He couldn't manipulate her and control her. And when he made the moves and the passes at her, she fought back because she's a feisty lady. Alright? And what happens when you fight back and confront Steve? You get hit? You want to say that you were drunk and make those excuses because he told you to keep your mouth shut? Hear me out, alright? You get in arguments, Marie, okay. He threatens her family if you talk. If you don't cooperate, do what I want, I'm going to hurt your mom, I'm going to hurt your dad, I'm going to burn your house down. I'm going to take those things away. He is controlling everybody from his jail cell, Jodi. He is controlling you. He's controlling Marie. He's controlling his mother, Barb, Earl, and even sometimes Chuck. And he's all doing that in a 5x9 cell. That's pathetic.
Who do you think he's going to kill next if he gets out? Do you think he's going to stop? No.
He is so pissed off at you right now, Jodi. If I were you, I would be worried. I really would. I'm sorry, but I would be worried. I've seen the history of the females in his life. I've seen what he's done when he gets angry. I've seen what he's done when you're gone. Okay? There's a very obvious pattern there. And I didn't know Steve from Adam until this case came up. I didn't know you.
Did you ever sit down and think what he did to that poor girl?
I bet you it runs through your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it. Okay? If I could share everything with you, besides the evidence that's already out there, which you know, my God, girl, think about it. If I could share the other half of it, I have nothing to gain by him going to prison or him going free. I never met Steve Avery prior to. I never met you prior to. I never met Teresa Hallbach prior to. I have nothing to gain. That's why I was called in. That's why we were called in as independent, because of his prior contact with Manitowoc County. So we had nothing to gain or lose. We went in and took a look at the facts. The laboratories don't lie. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to cover up for anybody, nor would I. I'm only going off of the facts. Okay?
What we're trained to do.
I've been doing this job a long time. I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of interesting people, a lot of people that are similar to Steve, but I've never met somebody as cold-blooded as him. To think what he did to that girl. Sit and think about that for a minute. Think about her family.
I do all the time.
I hope you do. Because by sticking up for him, what does that make you look like?
Well, I know, but
He killed her. He killed her. He's the only one to see her. He's the last one to see her. He's the only one who sees her in that time frame. Think about that. She just disappears? Yeah, she disappears because he killed her. And he hid her until he could take her out and put her in that burn pit that night, which he initially denied even burning. Then when he got caught at the lie, then he had to admit to it. That's the kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with?
And now he's not going to marry you because it's not convenient for him?
No.
No,
What's
because
up with that?
he's slipping his dick into Debbie. You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard him say he loves her.
What do you think you'd do if you were still in here and he got out? Think he'd check up with her? You heard it. What do you think you'd do?
You know damn well he would, because he needs it. He's got a sex issue.
Mm-hmm.
You told us yourself, was it 3 or 4 times a day sometimes?
In the beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think that's normal? Think he's got a few issues? You heard for yourself what he said to you, that the only reason that this has happened is because you were in here. Think about that statement. Pretty powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you think that's his way of admitting it to you? Don't you think? Sounds like it to me.
We wouldn't bring this stuff with Debbie here to hurt you anymore.
Oh, I know.
Okay? But you need some truth in this. Okay? And I think without hearing it from your own ears, you're not going to believe us. There's no way we can change the voices, do any kind of framing or planting or whatever his mom and he thinks.
Yeah.
It's right there, okay? This is technology, it's a CD, it's a computer. That's his voice,
Yeah.
okay? There's no way we can alter it. That was Debbie. And you knew that by the information in the letters of what Steve said.
Yeah.
I'd never seen those letters, so only you know what was written in there. Regardless of what he says, we're not some malicious, nasty cops trying to suck you in to believing what we want you to believe,
Yeah.
okay, Jodi? Do I look like some mean, nasty person that
No.
wants to beat you into submission and make you talk? No. No.
We know the stuff he's done to you, okay? If you want to admit it or not, you've told us this much of the things he's done to you, okay? And I know that, because you've shared it with other people who have told us. Okay, we know how he used to beat your ass. He did it more than once. It wasn't just a slap or two.
When you were drunk, to blow it off. We know that. He beat the shit out of you.
We all know it.
You wanted family to help you at one point to get the hell out of there, but you were afraid to. You know what, Jodi, you don't have to say anything, okay? We do our homework and we talk to a lot of people. A lot, okay? That's how the Marie stuff came back. Don't be thinking that you were the one that did this, okay? And he may think that, but whatever, okay? We know the bruises, the times he's beat your ass.
You showed people the bruises.
Yeah, you did.
You told them what happened.
You begged people for help, but you were scared to leave. And he's still controlling you right now.
Can you allow it to happen? Even some of his own family members think he's guilty, including his sister who said it. Chuck has alluded to it. Earl. At one time or another, they've all thought that he's guilty.
But
So they know.
he gets his claws back on him, manipulates them again, gets them to think what he's thinking or makes them, and they go back on his side. Once people are pulled away from that, the control, the manipulation in that, they start seeing what's there, the facts. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Sorry about that.
it's pretty pathetic that a person like that has got so much control over so many people in a jail cell. It really is. Do you have that much control over people?
No.
No, not at all. He's good. He's good with making people feel like crap.
Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Think about everything we've told you today, all the way from the start, leading up to him killing her, and us knowing everything he did to you. Still think he's a good guy? Somebody you want to live with?
He's got issues.
Got issues?
A
He
lot
killed
of
a
issues.
25-year-old woman and burned her body? Mutilated the corpse?
Had sex with his niece, did burglaries, burned cats. I mean, come on.
Forced the lady off the road at gunpoint. The only reason he didn't kill her was because she had a baby in the car. He's got issues? Yeah, I think he's got issues, all right.
Threatened to burn Marie's house down?
See, I didn't know any of that.
No, we're telling you.
There it is.
He's trying to fuck some other girl. You heard it for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting in here again.
He doesn't give a shit about you. You know that. He's using you because you were an easy lay for him. That's all he thought about.
And you didn't have anybody to go to, so he controlled you, manipulated you. You had nowhere to go, so you had to depend on him. He said it. Did you not
Yeah.
hear that? I supported her. Bullshit, Jodi. You can support yourself.
He blames you for him killing the girl. Sit her right on the phone to you.
Without saying her name. Without stating that.
So he's even trying to blame you for the murder. Isn't that nice? Issues? I think so.
You know what scares me right now, Jodi? If Debbie wasn't in the picture and he got out, who would it be next? Would he go back after Marie? Think there'd be some innocent photographer coming out to do some freelancing for him on his pieces of junk cars? Some FedEx saleswoman that's alone by herself? Some stupid blonde cop from Calumet that shows up by herself?
Who do you think the next victim would be?
It's sick to think about, and it's scary to think about, Jodi. You know
That
what?
is.
It really opens my eyes too.
Is there anything, Jodi, that you want to tell us that you haven't so far?
No?
Because if there is, now's the time. Because as you can tell on there, he's blaming you. He's trying to blame you. As you can tell on the phone conversation, he's blaming you for what he did. Okay? You understand you don't have to talk to us. You don't have to tell us anything. You can walk right back out of this door. But if there's something that maybe you thought of that maybe you forgot to tell us, or maybe we're scared to, I think now's probably the time that you need to do that. Because you can see the doors starting to shut on him. And he is desperate.